Choctaw Nation, Oklahoma. This nearly 7 million acre territory is home to Native people who have occupied North America for more than 4,000 years. The Choctaw continue to carry on the centuries-old traditions of their ancestors to this day. And one story that continues to loom large is that of the Nalusachito, which the Choctaw describe as a shadow being.
This Nalusachito is a demonic entity, and the Choctaw believe that if you're having bad thoughts, that this will attract the Nalusachito to you.
The Nalusachito would get you by creeping inside you and eating your soul. The Choctaw were so afraid of this creature, they would not say the name. And many people would move along and abandon huts and things because of the fear of this shadow figure.
We see the shadow people in the stories of other Native American people on Native American reservations, particularly the Jicarilla Apache Reservation in Dulce, New Mexico. They talk about the shadow people as if they are their regular companions. The legend is this: if a shadow person who's really a spirit sees you and that shadow people attaches itself to you, it will be with you for the rest of your life.
The traditions of these Native American tribes originated centuries ago. And as ancient astronaut theorists point out, accounts of shadowy entities can be found in the legends of ancient cultures all around the world.
While there are stories of shadow people in modern times, what I find interesting is there are also references to what seem to be shadow people in ancient texts. And frankly, they're very strange accounts.
Shadow beings go far back into antiquity, all the way back to the time of ancient Sumer, where in that culture you see accounts of Alu, which is a type of Udug, which in their culture was the type of demon. Now, Alu, in the way that he would appear to people, it was very much like our shadow entities of today, where he was very dark in nature. He had no facial features, no eyes, no nose, no mouth, and he would hover over people at night.
Of course, there are many accounts of demons in the scriptures, the Christian Bible, the Talmud. In Jewish lore, there is the shadow of death, or the death shadow. There is this idea that there are malevolent spirits that could harm you.
Commonly compared with the shadow people is an entity known in Islam as the jinn. Supernatural creatures that are often invisible and have the ability to shapeshift.
The derivation of jinn comes from an Arabic root, JNN, which literally means to hide or to conceal. The jinn are created of smokeless fire. Our English word genie, you know, the mythical spirit that lives inside of a lamp, comes from the word jinn.
The jinn are considered more trickster in nature. They have some interesting abilities, such as they can instantly transport from one place to another. They also seem to appear very dark and shadowy in nature. They were these big looming type of characters when they enter the room.
As a Muslim, you know, I believe the jinn to be real. Jinn can be angelic, they can be demonic. And so this idea is that you have to be careful with them because they are these powerful figures. They are these literally supernatural figures. And so across the Muslim world in the present day, particularly in places like North Africa, you may wear an amulet, you may have things to ward off the jinn, you may have, you know, certain things that you do to protect you from the jinn, because the idea is that the jinn, when they're in their demonic capacity, will do things that can be harmful or tormenting to human beings.
What I find fascinating is that you have a myriad of cultures from all over the world that have very, very similar beliefs about these shadow entities. Now, they may call it something different, but you see in Turkey, the Karabasan, the dark presser, as a very, very similar entity as to the Kanatavoro in Fiji. as to the Pisadera in Brazil. They're all talking about the same type of being, the same type of entity, and it calls into question, how are these beings visiting all of these different cultures from all over the world since they did not have any contact with each other?